guys, it's Sarah from Misadventure Pants. How you doing? I'm here to talk to you about the 10 gear essentials that every hiker needs. That's our topic for this week's live chat. I'll dive into that in just a minute, but let's give it 60 seconds to see if people join. As you're joining, please let me know how you're doing. What are you up to this weekend? It's supposed to be kind of rainy here in Colorado. It's really not the greatest weather, but I'm sure you guys will find some fun things to do. And not all of you are from Colorado. Maybe the weather's better where you're at. I hope so. Okay, it's 7, so let's talk a little bit about gear. So one thing that's very overwhelming when you're a brand new hiker is just knowing exactly what gear you need for your hike. I know we have the REI flagship store here in Denver, and you walk in and it's like a mall, like a 3-story mall of nothing but outdoor stuff. And I always have like 2 feelings when I go in there. One is, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. Like it's like sensory overload. And the other one is, I wish I had a lot more money because there's a lot of cool stuff in here. But when you're new especially, I think it's very overwhelming. So let's talk a little bit about what do you really need. We're going to break it down to the real essentials that you need for safe, comfortable hiking. So some really smart outdoors person, I don't know who, came up with this concept. It's called the 10 essentials. And it used to be 10 actual items, like take your map, take your compass, take your knife. There were 10 things. And that's evolved actually into, there are now 10 systems that are things that you really need to be aware of, like when you're getting ready to go out in the outdoors and packing your pack. I don't know who changed it from items to systems. I think maybe it was a marketing thing by REI, but it works really good. So we're going to talk about it. So the basic idea is that if you have these 10 kind of areas covered in your packing, it'll keep you alive. Say you were out hiking in the backcountry and for some reason you had to stay overnight. Maybe there was an accident. Maybe you got lost. These things happen just all the time. So basically enough stuff to keep you alive overnight in most conditions. And I can see, like, you know, these items are also can make your hike a lot more pleasant and comfortable. I don't know how many times I've run out of water while I'm hiking and it's just out longer than I thought I would be, and thought to myself, wow, I wish I really had brought my water purification stuff because there's water right there I could drink, but now I can't. Maybe your boots split in half. I've actually had that happen too. And, you know, if you have the 10 essentials, you'll have stuff to fix it with. These things can be scaled up and down a bit. If you're, say, in Cleveland and you're going to walk around the Metro Park with your dog, you don't necessarily need every single one of these things, but you might actually want to take some of them, depending on how long you're going out. It's always just good stuff to think about. So let's dive right in, and we're going to do this hands-on style. I have my backpack, but I need to go and get it. I'm coming back just a minute. Do you guys hear my cat? So here's my trusty Deuter pack. It's been with me since about 2009, and actually, I'll just keep it on my knee while I kind of unpack and show you the 10 essentials. We'll just go system by system here. So, I'm going to pull out one. I don't know what it is. Surprise, surprise. It actually looks like this is sun protection. Let's call that number 1. So, what's in the sun protection system? A couple of things. So the most obvious thing you're going to want to take with you is sunscreen. This is Rocky Mountain sunscreen, SPF 50 in a travel size. Great stuff. You can buy it at King Soopers here. These small ones are really great for hiking. They just don't weigh much. You can take, if you're going backpacking, you can take 2 or 3 of them. Fantastic. Also, they fit in your pocket, which is really nice, or in the waist pockets of your pack. Putting it in the pocket is really nice in the wintertime, in the colder weather, when it's very, like one of the worst feelings in the world is putting freezing cold sunscreen on yourself. I mean, that's awful. So warm it up. Easy to do in the little travel size. Also, SPF lip balm, good stuff to have. Sunglasses are really important. It's especially important if you're going to be near water, sand, or snow, and to some degree grass. Those are all really reflective surfaces, so these are sunglasses. These are special ones for snow. They actually have a guard that closes off this part of the eye right here, so no sun can get in through that. So these are really great if you're going to be on snow. They're called glacier glasses. And, oh, this is a beako that attaches to your glasses. Really good for keeping your nose, the sun off your nose. It just has a little Velcro piece that goes on. I'm probably going to do it wrong, but it looks something like this when you wear it. Oh, I totally screwed this up. But yeah, there's the I put it on like kind of backwards. But yeah, that's the beako. See, no sun can get on my nose and make it leathery. Oh, and buffs are really great. If you're just in like super sunny conditions, if you don't have time to put on sunscreen, they actually make a UV version of the buff that you can slide over your face. You can, I mean, it's not fun to walk around like this, but you know, it's more fun than getting really horribly sunburned. So now my hair's all messed up. Alright, that's good enough. We'll call it good. Okay, so that's, and sun hat. I don't have it with me, but it's another great thing to have. Something with a wide brim. Baseball cap works fine. Some people actually have caps that have a shield that goes down over your neck, which is obviously awesome. So what else is in here? This one you'll like. We have extra food. This is system number 2. So food's like so individual. I hate to recommend food to people because everybody's a little different, but kind of some basics. The chews are pure carbs, really good for fast energy when you're going hard during the day. These are Cliff Blocks, yeah. But you know, some people use candy, some people use gummies, jelly beans, whatever works for you. Bars, really good, kind of a mixture of protein, a little bit of fat and carbs, longer energy. And I just love these Honey Stinger waffles. If you haven't had one, it's always good to have something on the trail. It's like a really good treat, especially if you're hiking at high altitude or something. It'll just make you want to eat more often. So it's good stuff. All right, system number 3. I don't know what it's going to be. Once again, this is navigation. This is a really fun one. So, obviously, you don't want to get lost while you're out there, so there's a couple things you can take. The one I actually usually use is the one I'm talking to you on, and that's my phone. I have an app that I could use as a GPS that'll show my location on a topo map. And if you're going to do that, it's really important to have something to back it up, because obviously, I know my iPhone, if it's 40 degrees, it just shuts off. It's like, sorry, not working. Even though it has lots of battery, it just doesn't want to. So taking something to back it up is really important. Oh, and taking a power pack if you're on a longer trip. Take a backup battery. You don't want it to run out of batteries. So your backup, probably the backup that really never fails is a map, good old map and compass. In a couple of future blog posts and videos, I'm going to show you some tricks for using these. There's actually awesome places on the internet you can go and download these beautiful topo maps and print them out at home. This one I think is for Signal Mountain, which is an awesome place you should go in Rocky Mountain National Park. And then compass, using the map with the compass is a little bit more tricky to learn, but you can certainly, oh hey, who's there? I can't see. Sometimes it shows me names and sometimes it doesn't. Hey, thanks for joining. So learning to use a compass with the map is a really good survival skill. There's all kinds of ways this can save your butt. Even something as simple as I'm on top of a mountain and I don't want to walk off the wrong direction. If it's cloudy or if there's no trail, can be really important. So map and compass. And then another, this kind of fits into the nav category. This is optional, but especially if you're going into the backcountry, I love to have a a personal locator beacon of some kind. Mine is called a spot. There are many different kinds. But if I get in trouble, I can actually hit a button on this and it'll call a rescue service, which is awesome. And if I have kind of minor trouble, like I get back to the trailhead and the car doesn't start, I can hit another button and it sends a message to my mom, like, hey, send, like, it's not an emergency, but can you send assistance too? And then it sends her my location. There are fancier versions of this where you can actually, like, send a personalized message, which is pretty cool. And there are very simple versions of it where basically if you're in a life-threatening situation, you just, like, pull a pin and it's like a grenade and it sends off the signal to the emergency service, and those are a lot cheaper. So I mean, you have all kinds of options here, but I love having one of these, especially if you're out by yourself or going kind of deep in the backcountry. It's great. And also it comes with batteries. Carry extra batteries for the spot. Always a good thing. Alright, so that's 3 navigation. Number 4, this is a good one too. This is illumination. So it's really important. I think even if you're going into the backcountry and you expect you're going to be out in the afternoon, you just never know what's going to happen. So it's really good to always carry something. This is a very lightweight little headlamp. It's actually locked, so I can't turn it on unless I hold down this button for 4 seconds, which is great. It won't turn on in my pack and drain the batteries. There you go. See? So headlamps are great. If you do have a headlamp, carry extra batteries. Some people carry an extra bulb. It's good, especially, I think, even if you're just like out hanging around town, to have a nice backup light source. It can be as simple as a little LED keychain that attaches to your pack. And you can turn that on in an emergency. You forget your headlamp, it's always there. Your headlamp runs out of batteries, your headlamp breaks, a bear runs off with your headlamp. You always have something just to basically get you around in an emergency. So backup light source is great. So that's illumination. And now I have to go into the next layer of the pack. So we're getting into the bigger stuff. So number 5, fire. Everyone loves this one. So you never know, especially in the backcountry. It takes a long time to get rescued. And I don't know about where you live, but in Colorado in the mountains, it gets down near freezing at night, even now in June, and all through the summer actually. It can be quite cold. So if you want to survive and be comfortable in an emergency, it's really important to have some kind of heat source. So fire is a good one, and basically it's 2 components. You need something to illuminate it with. So this is a container of stormproof matches. You can get them at REI. I'll hold it up here. They're kind of big and bulky. And the cool thing about this is it has a striker right here on the side. Oh, you can't see that. If I light this, I can actually, they don't go out. They're amazing. They're actually a little bit scary because they're hard to put out. You can dunk this in water and it will light back up. They're pretty much a super foolproof source of fire if you need to light something. I also have a lighter, just, it's a little bit easier to use and cheaper. These are kind of pricey. And then, so you need to have something to strike and make a fire source, and then you need something to burn, or at least to start your fire. So you need some kind of fire starter. There's a couple, there's a million kinds of fire starters, right? There's tons of commercial ones. I really encourage you to try your fire starter before you rely on it. I've seen really expensive commercial ones that were just crap, they didn't catch on fire at all. And actually the thing I think works best, these are, I don't know how well you can see it, it's basically a cotton ball, a really squashed one from my house that's been rubbed in Vaseline. And these things burn like crazy. It's pretty amazing, and they last a long time as well. I should probably rub some new cotton balls in Vaseline because it's been a while, but these guys still are pretty good. This one is from the Army Navy store. It's called Trioxane. If you're not too worried about things like chemicals and poisons, and they are kind of nasty, but and you have to be careful about getting it on your hands. But yeah, they burn super well. It's just like a tablet inside this package that's probably very expired, or I need to replace my fire starters. I wish I knew what this one was called. Is anyone watching now? Oh gosh, I can't remember. But this is another one I think you can get from the Army Navy store, like a white tablet that just burns very nice and burns for a while. So you can go get some sticks and make a nice fire. Warm yourself up in an emergency. Yeah, it's really interesting. I hear different things about whether a rescue service will come and help you at night. I think kind of the verdict is some absolutely will. I know I talked to people in Park County. They said they will. If you live there, you're lucky. And I think there's some that won't. Unless it's like an absolute life-threatening emergency, then they make you wait until the next day. So being able to stay out overnight is a really good thing. It's really, really important. So fire, good for that. So there, I think that was number 5. Is anyone counting? I'm losing track. Number 6, let's do the repair kit. So traditionally one of the 10 essentials was a knife, and kind of the modern version, you can use a knife. I actually like to have a multi-tool. This is my very cheap multi-tool from when I lived in Thailand. I think I won this at the mall or something. But, you know, it gets the job done if I need to just do a basic repair on my trekking poles, my snowshoes, you know, just little things that happen with gear when you're out in the backcountry. Can be very good. If you're gonna be out for a day or two, I think it's great to have a patch kit. Like especially if you have something like an inflatable sleeping pad or you're drinking out of a Camelback. These things can get punctured, so actually I put bike patches on them. This is a little portable bike patch kit that people use. What else? This is for tents. This is called tenacious tape, and it's awesome. This is great stuff. It you can put it on your clothes, you can put it on your tent. It's just like awesome sticky tape that is waterproof and, you know, doesn't sticks to anything, and is just great for many kinds of repairs. I have a patch kit for my Thermarest. I have lots of patches, like lots of holes and things. And just having some cord is great if you have to improvise a shelter, which we'll talk about in a minute, or, you know, if your shoelace breaks in a weird place, and, I mean, you can use this in a pinch. Cord is amazing, just having some cheap parachute cord. So that is repairs and knife. Number 6, I am losing count. Number 7, hydration. You hear all the time, we need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. I don't know anyone who does that. I sure don't. But, you know, we should all try, right? And obviously, water is one of the things, if we were stuck out for a few days, that first you absolutely need to live. Can't go for more than a few days without water. And second, obviously you don't want to get like giardia or something from drinking untreated water. So even if water is around, it's great to have some water stuff. So how do you carry water when you're hiking? There's a couple ways you can do it. You know, you can do the good old Nalgene bottle with Colorado like edibles shop stickers on it. And if you feel like these are too heavy, the 20, I think they're 20-ounce Gatorade bottles that are about the size of a Nalgene, they carry almost as much water, and they are a lot lighter, so some people really like those. I have in my pack, if you really like kind of want to stay hydrated without having to stop, some people really prefer to use a hydration system. So you can see I have this little hose that comes out and it connects to a bladder that goes in my backpack, and I can carry 3 liters of water in here, which is quite a bit. I've come close. I don't think I've actually ever drank 3 liters in a day. 2 liters is generally about as much as you should bring if you're hiking all day. Some people do like to bring 3. Some people drink more than others. But yeah, so hydration system's a great way to go. There's a couple different companies that make them. What if you drink all that water and run out? There's a couple things you can carry with you, especially on longer trips, that's really good for. So these are just little water treatment tablets. Takes about half an hour. You put one in, leave it for half an hour, put another one in. It takes the bad iodine taste away, and that'll kill most baddies that are in your water that could make you sick. Another thing, SteriPet is great. This is actually uses UV light. I'll see if I can get it to work. It's actually getting dark enough in here. You might be able to see it. To get the cap off the bottle. But basically, I just hit a little button, stick the, can you guys see that at all? Yeah, you can kind of see it flickering. I don't know, it didn't like that. It's angry at me. Anyway, this is great. It's like boiling the water. The UV light will kill just about everything, every bad thing that could be in there. It obviously won't get rid of like pine needles and seaweed and floaties and things, but you know, it'll get rid of anything that could actually make you ill. So that's water. I think that's 8? Yeah, 8. I'm doing good with remembering the numbers here. 9. First aid kit. So this probably looks huge. This is a really nice backcountry first aid kit that fits into a, oh, that looks terrible right there. I'll tell you what that is in a second. Fits into a gallon-sized trash bag. I'll show you a few things I have in here. This is very comprehensive, by the way. I would scale this way down for a shorter hike. I would, for example, take out the splint. This is a bendable splint that you can just, it's really awesome. It like conforms to my arm really well. If I broke my arm, I could just make an awesome splint for myself. But probably you just need one of those per group, and probably not super necessarily if you're out walking the dog. Clotting sponge, that's really great. Again, probably if you're near medical care, not super necessary. In the wintertime, I carry chemical warmers in here. These are really great if you know you have to stay out longer, or if your hands and feet are just getting cold. This horrible, sad-looking bottle is actually something really cool. It's called, mine exploded, but it's called Tincture of Benzoin. And if you've ever had try to put a Band-Aid on your foot and it just keeps sliding off because your foot is sweaty, this stuff will keep it from sliding off. You just put a little bit where the sticky part of the Band-Aid's gonna go, and it's amazing. The Band-Aid will be on your foot for like a month, and you'll be like, ah, this is gross. This Band-Aid really needs to come off. So, yeah, so benzoin, it's kind of a secret. Other stuff in here, it looks like moleskin. I have a little blister kit. Moleskin is a great thing for blisters. Some medications, aspirin, Benadryl. I don't usually take those on shorter trips. This is a really good one to have. These in here are 2 pairs of rubber gloves if you have to do first aid on someone else, or you can give them to someone that's going to do it on you. Always a good precaution. Ace bandage and all kinds of gauze and Band-Aids. Let's see. Oh, and in the summertime, it's probably a good thing to throw in some insect repellent stuff. So this is wipes and then like a little itch stick that you can use when the bugs bite you to make the itch go away. And when I'm leading trips, I also take record-keeping stuff. This is a kit that we get from Colorado Mountain Club. You can also just bring like a little pencil and a couple pieces of paper is a good thing to have. You can do a lot of things with that. You can leave notes. If you're going to, you know, move, if you're going to like move from where people might think you are, if you're lost, you can be like, hey, I was here, I'm going to this place. Also, if somebody is hurt and really hurt and you have to like monitor their vital signs, it's really good to have something to write stuff down with. Just kind of keep a record of like what's going on with them. You can also, if you're in a group and somebody is hurt, like write down information about the person and send it out with the person who's going to get help from the rescue team. So pencil and paper, also a really good thing to have. I don't know if you can see this pile I'm making on my desk. It's pretty funny. But that's okay, because we're actually down to one of the, I think this is number 10, right? And it's a really good one. It's about shelter. So what do you do if you have to stay outside overnight? You obviously don't carry your tent everywhere you go. That would just be heavy and stupid. But you have a couple of options. One is just to get a nice lightweight tarp. This one, I can't remember how big it is, but it's super lightweight. It's reflective. I could, you know, if I had a problem and had to stay outside, I could wrap myself up with this. It's waterproof. I could cover up. I could improvise and use my trekking poles to build a little shelter, and it could keep me pretty comfy. Another thing, which I'll go grab because I forgot to put it in my pack, just a minute. This is a really fantastic product I just discovered this year. It's called a Survival Bivvy by SOL, which sounds like shit out of luck, but actually it's Survive Outdoors Longer. I think they were kind of messing with us with the name, but basically it's like inside of here, you know, you guys have probably all seen the crinkly little space blanket that rips apart in a second when you pull it out. This is kind of a heavy-duty version of this. It's actually kind of it's like a sleeping bag made out of nylon, and it's reflective on the inside, and you can actually, you know, pull this whole thing out and zip yourself inside. It's like you're in a little nylon reflective sleeping bag. It's waterproof. If you got some warm clothes on, it's going to give you, you know, it's going to hold in some heat and also protect you from the elements. These are really great for putting over your sleeping bag to make them a little bit warmer as well, or if you someday want to sleep in a snow cave and the water is dripping on you, then you can definitely use this to keep your sleeping bag dry. They just have all kinds of uses. If both of those things are just too heavy duty for you, you're like, hey, I'm going out and walking the dog. Some people even just like take a trash bag. Can be like really nice if rain starts to fall on you. And that reminds me, I actually lost count. Like, that was number 9. Number 10 is extra layers, which includes things like your raincoat. So, let me show you. So, yeah, I mean, you always want to have like a little bit more that you can throw on if for some reason you were injured and had to sit for a while, or if you just got tired and decided it was probably better to, stop for the night. It's good to have some extra clothes. So things to think about. If you're in the backcountry, I always bring like extra socks. I'm back. Sorry, somebody tried to call me. I'll call them back in a minute. So socks are really good if your feet are wet. It's important to get them into dry socks so that they don't get too cold. I actually love to bring these little fleece pants to slide on. They're super lightweight, but pretty warm. They're like made of micro fleece. I don't know how well you can see them. Rain jacket and pants is a really good one. You can get very lightweight ones just to throw in your pack if you're doing something not super adventurous. And then, I thought I had something else, hat and gloves, which I did not put in my pack. I was a bad girl. But you'll want to do that when you go for your hike. So, those are the 10 essential systems, guys. That took a lot longer and was a lot messier. You can kind of see the mess down there than I thought, but it was really fun to do with you. So yeah, those are the things to kind of keep in. This person really wants to call me, but I'll be done in 1 second if you happen to be watching this video. Just a couple parting words. It's nice to keep this stuff organized. Ziplocs work well. It makes it easy to just scale up, scale down, make sure you have everything. I need to actually leave right after this, but I promise I will come back and put a list of some of the products that I mentioned underneath this video if you want to check back in a little bit. There's some really great stuff that you can put on your shopping list. I'm also going to make you a printable. I looked all over the internet, so find like a little printable list that's just easy. You can print off and throw in your gear bin. And so watch for that on the blog. And this is something that's going to be kind of exciting. This summer, I'm really hoping to run a Climb Your First 14er challenge. And if you want to learn about gear, even if you climbed lots of 14ers before, if you just want to learn about gear, about navigation, how to use some of this stuff to survive, it's going to be great. We're just going to have so much great content about that. And you can also talk to people who are, you know, wanting to get out into the mountains and learn this stuff as well. So keep an eye out for that. I have to get my new website up and running first. It's a giant pain, but it's gonna happen. And that's it, guys. I really have to run, but I'm so happy to talk to you. Thank you for watching. It's been a lot of fun. And yeah, I will see you next Thursday with our live chat. So take care and have a good one. Have a good weekend.